So let me just simply explain to you. Tithe simply means tenth, 10% of what? Your increase or your income. So what we receive on a weekly basis, if you get paid weekly, you send 10% back to God. You might be asking, why do I say back to God? It's all His anyway. It's not ours. Everything that we have in the bank account is God's. I know that you know that we all know God doesn't need our money. So if He doesn't need our money, then how have we robbed Him? Surely we haven't robbed Him from financial blessings. What we've robbed Him from is the ability to bless us. You see, when we're faithful with what God has given to us and we give it back to Him, He blesses us. It took me a while to figure it out that the more you give to God, the more He blesses you. The more you give to God with an open heart and a heart that doesn't seek reward but seeks to honor God, the more He blesses you. When we refuse to give back to God, we are not positioning ourselves in a place to receive what God has for us. God's not necessarily concerned with our money, He's concerned with our heart. Receiving blessings shouldn't be a motivating factor to giving to God. Obedience to God should be the motivating factor. What's the difference between tithe and offerings? An offering is anything you give above that. If God's leading you to give more than 10%, then do that. That's an offering that you're giving above and beyond. I want to challenge you. Start giving your tithe. There was a challenge there that God gave us. He gave us an opportunity to test Him. You will be hard-pressed to find any other portion of Scripture where God invites you to test Him. When you think it's hard, when you don't know how you're going to pay your bills or get food on the table for your family, test me in this. When you give, see how I open up windows in heaven and pour out blessings for you that you have no room to contain. I found that true in my life. You give to God even when you have nothing to give, and He pours out blessings you cannot contain. When you give that tenth, you're saying, God, I'm giving you this tenth because I trust you with the other 90%. And can I tell you, 90% with God will go a lot further than 100% without Him. Don't you ever think for a second that giving to God will leave you in need. The only place it will leave you is in a position to receive from Him. So this morning, the challenge is simple. Open up your heart and believe God to do what He said He would do. And that first tenth, that 10%, that tithe, dedicate it, give it back to the Lord.